So when you start waking up to the deception and the, like all the evil in the government, the corruption, the manipulation, all that stuff, it's very easy to start looking into, trying to learn all this. When you start waking up to the truth of the world, a big thing is seeing the corruption within government. And just for some backstory, I was very anti-government from like high school, and I ended up, protesting the the COVID lockdowns and all that stuff. I rebelled against the government because I didn't know any better. And well, I guess at the time I wasn't really claiming. Well, I was like questioning at that moment. Like I wasn't claiming to be a Christian at that time, but either way, like just to put it simply, we are not supposed to rebel against the government. Well, no one is, but like especially if you are claiming to be a Christian, claiming to be of God. If you are rebelling against the government, complaining about the government, you are complaining about what God has ordained. You are going against God. It's not just, and I'm not condoning evil government. I'm not condoning, that's not what I'm saying. But we have to accept it because this is punishment. This is chastisement. Because when you transgress God's covenants, you are punished, you are cursed. That's in Deuteronomy 28. I'm not going to read all these verses because you should go and read them yourself if you're a believer, or if you're not, but you're curious to see like if the Bible actually matches up with what's going on in the world. Sorry, I should have moved away. What else? Yeah. And if you are rebellious against the government or anyone, rebellion is the sin of witchcraft. That's in 1 Samuel 15:23. It's a sin of witchcraft. So you cannot be rebellious. You cannot say, oh, look at this stupid government, whatever. And I'm guilty of this. I've done this throughout my life. Even, it's been hard to let go of that. What's the word? That I guess hatred and frustration and whatever. But yeah, what we have to do is look at the government. Why is it so shit? Why is it so corrupt? Maybe we're doing something wrong. Maybe we have to take a look at ourselves and say, what are we doing? Because the government of a particular nation is a reflection of that nation. And I know that Australia, where I am, following the ways of America, and like, just look at America. It's the most prideful nation. It's the most, it's just, it's just going down the toilet. And so is Australia, following shortly after. But it's a reflection. And Australia follows in the way of America. America spreads its Christmas, its Easter, it's Halloween to all four corners. And Australia, Halloween wasn't even really a thing a couple years ago. Now it's so popular, and even churches are trying to Christianize it, which, if that doesn't make you think, and you don't even question Christmas or Easter, if Halloween is really obvious to you, you got to start questioning Christmas and Easter. If you're a believer, you cannot be doing those. They are pagan holidays. They honor other gods. They include idolatry. Anyway, I'm going to try and stay on track. I really struggle with that, but I'm going to try and stay on track. Sorry, I've got a cold, so I have to clear my throat a lot. What was I going to say? Yeah. So because the way we are living in general, for example, in Australia where I am, is people, they're pretty much their own gods. Like, the way people act around here is so prideful. They love themselves so much, including the Christians. It's actually quite gross. It's like this glorified narcissism. It's glorifying being superficial. It's glorifying self-love in the way of, like, I'm the main character, I'm so special, I'm so important. It's gross. So, idolizing yourself, making yourself a god, including Christmas and Easter. So other gods, idolatry, the Christmas tree, Jeremiah 10. Not honoring Sabbath. Even like this, Seventh-day Adventists? They don't even honor Sabbath properly. Yeah, they acknowledge that it's Saturday. That's about it. That's where it stops. They don't. That's it. That's maybe the only commandment they will even look at. The rest is like, whatever. You break one, you break them all. Matthew 5:19 or 17. Yeah, but in general, people are transgressing God's commandments, and punishment comes for that. Don't you remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah? What were the people doing? How are they acting? People are acting like that, even the ones claiming to be Christians. It's a free-for-all. It's like this faith covers you and you can literally do whatever and just go to church on Sunday and feel holy. It's absolute bullshit. And I was pretty much one of those people for a while. You don't think punishment's coming for you? Do you think we're in this brand new time? You think we're in, the new covenant, and there's no way you can even transgress the law because there is no law? Well, is there sin in the world? Is the world going down the toilet? Just think about that for a minute, because sin is transgression of the law. I just don't understand how you don't think we need to keep the 10 Commandments. If the world is full of sin, sin is transgression of something. That's like saying, there's no rules in society. You can do whatever. But then, is there still crime? It's like, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but, Romans 13. I don't know, maybe I should read some of it at least. But please read all of these verses that I'm quoting to you. Please check what I'm saying. Don't ever take anyone's word for it if they're trying to teach you the Bible, because people will teach out of their own vain imaginations to lead you astray. We're warned about that. I'll just start reading and then... it's not that long. Okay. Romans 13. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resists the power resists the ordinance of God. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. So that's talking about people doing the good works. So keeping the covenants of promise and loving their neighbour, which is to rebuke sin. Leviticus 19, verse 15 to 18. Will thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and you shall have praise of the same. For he is the minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that does evil. Wherefore you must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay you tribute also. For they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Just a side note on that. Think about, a little while ago, there were some videos of people like destroying, I think, Catholic statues like Mary and Jesus and crosses, whatever. They were ordained of God because those people that put up those statues were transgressing God's commandments, even though they're claiming to be of God. Because you're not supposed to have a graven image. There is no excuse for that shit. Do not do it. The word is very clear about that. Oh my goodness. But those people will do what they think is right. They're listening to their own opinion rather than what God actually instructs us to do. So God ordains people like that to punish those people. And those people will think, oh my goodness, we're being attacked by Satan. No, you're being punished by God. Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honour to whom honour. Owe no man anything but to love one another, the royal law. For he that loves another has fulfilled the law. For this, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill. Basically, the 10 Commandments. I'm not going to go through each one. Love works no ill to his neighbour. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. The night is fast spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armour of light. Let us walk honestly, as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying. But put ye on the Lord Yeshua Messiah, and not make provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. All right. Honestly, when I first read Romans 13 as I was waking up to the truth, I outwardly rejected it, which is kind of funny because that was rebellious. Oh my goodness. But I didn't like it because from my own opinion, my own understanding, I was like, oh no, that's wrong. So what? I'm going to argue with God's word. That's very wicked. Don't do that. If you claim to be of God, you want to love God, follow in the way of Yeshua, then you got to do what the Bible says because the Bible is true. And I'm not going to go on about that, but I definitely believe it to be true. Like, it's reflecting in the world right now. Everything that's happening has been predicted. Yeah, and all these Christian nations, look at their governments. If they were doing the right thing by God, wouldn't they have a good government ordained by God as like a reward? Oh, you're doing well, you're obeying me. I'm going to give you a good government that's going to do good for you. And this ties into Romans 1. So the churches were supposed to rebuke sin within their congregation, within their own people. But they didn't do that. They instead allowed sin to continue in the church and spread. And because altars were made for them to sin, I can't remember the exact quote, but Sin increases because it wasn't kept in check, basically. And there's punishment for transgression, and, God punishes his people, chastises his people. Also side note, there's punishment also for eating unclean flesh, like swine, like shellfish. And I know it seems petty or something like that, but that's God's word. If you go and read Isaiah 65 and 66, you're going to see it's a pretty serious thing. And the people that eat those things, they go to where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth and the fire is not quenched. Do you want to be a part of those people? Because I sure don't. I'm okay with not having bacon again for the rest of my life, especially since there's not going to be much of that life left. We're really, really right at the end now. Okay. Isaiah 8. Maybe we'll read some of that. Don't know which verse I was going to read. Okay, we're going to read from verse 5. Whoso keeps the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerns both time and judgment. Because to every purpose there is time, and judgment. Therefore the misery of man is great upon him. For he knows not that which shall be, for who can tell him when it shall be? There is no man that has power over the Spirit to retain the Spirit, neither has he power in the day of death. And there is no discharge in that war, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it. What was I gonna... I think I was just gonna summarize it, but anyway, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but, don't walk in the way of the general people, and don't say a confederacy. So, just don't speak against the government. Don't murmur. Don't speak against it. You have to accept it and, accept the punishment. And if you're keeping the covenants of promise, you'll be fine. All you need to worry about is obeying God and loving your neighbor as yourself, which is to rebuke sin and try and find the lost sheep. And if you fight by the sword, you would die by the sword. So you rise up against the government, you literally fight back with guns, whatever you want to do. That punishment's going to turn around and back on you, and you're going to be taken down the same way you take anyone else down. We'll read Jeremiah 21. From verse 8 to 10. And unto this people you shall say, Thus says Jehovah, behold, I set before you the way of life, and the way of death. He that abides in this city shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goes out and falls to the Chaldeans, that besiege you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey. For I have set my face against this city, for evil and not for good, says Jehovah. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn with fire. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Your government is a reflection of your nation's or your state's transgression, basically. They reflect, the level of obedience to God, and the people are corrupt, so your government is corrupt. If you want a good government, start obeying God. It's really that simple. We're right at the end. We really need to start taking this seriously. Being what do I even call it? I guess a true Christian, if you want to say that, is not just believing. And grace, yes, it's a free gift, but it's it's not unmerited favor. It's something that teaches us to deny ungodliness. That's in Titus 2. We have to start obeying God, the 10 Commandments. Start eating clean. Start going out to find the other lost sheep, rebuking sin against those commandments, as long as you are in covenant. Because you have to make sure that you don't have a log in your eye when you're rebuking the speck in other people's eyes. But we only rebuke those that are claiming to be believers, not atheists, okay? Do not do that. What else? I'm going to try and wrap it up. So, visit SpiritofTruth.Net. We've got loads of documents and videos and resources, and we meet daily and on the Sabbath for Twitter and Zoom Bible talks. You can catch one at pretty much any time, wherever you are around the world. You'll be able to catch at least one. And if you miss them, you can go to SpiritofTruth.Net on YouTube, and also Women's Bible Talk replays on YouTube. I'll have all the links in the description. And you can listen back to any of the talks if you missed one that was live. And you can reach out by my email or on Twitter. What else? Just don't rebel against the government. Take the punishment. Take a look at yourself. And if you're serious about loving God, you need to start obeying, or you will go into great tribulation. It is coming very, very, very soon. It's going to be literal hell on earth, World War III, whatever you want to call it. Only those that keep the commandments of God will be saved from that. And that are doing the good works, the royal law, and not being selfish. So, I pray that you start taking it seriously, and I pray that you hear the truth in what I'm saying to you, and that you go and read all the verses that I quoted, because you always need to test the spirits. And I am not a natural speaker or teacher, but I'm just trying to share the talents that I've been given, because that's what we're supposed to do. Not keep them to ourselves and be selfish. Not feed our own bellies, but share what we know with others. But I definitely recommend checking out the channels in my description, because there are people that speak a lot better than me and are much better teachers and much wiser than me. Like, I'm still, I mean, not super new, but I am definitely not as wise as others in the truth. And yeah, thank you for watching.